Hello, my dears, and welcome to my channel. As always, I am very happy and grateful that you've chose to spend your time with me. And supporting my channel is very easy. Just like the video, subscribe, and click on the notification bell. And I do realize that I have not been consistent in October about my posting, and I do apologize for that. Apparently, October had other plans for me, and I did have a bunch of Halloween themed decks to show you guys, and life happens. So I'm glad that my subscribers have stuck with me, and I hope that you will join me for the new installation of the Wild Wisdom series, and this one is the illustrated Crystallary. I hope I said that right. This was created by Maia and illustrated by Kate O'Hara, published by Storey Publishing, released September 1st of 2020, and at that time it retailed for $19.95. And the book itself is 8.35 height, and across is 6.35, and the width is 0.63, and the title is on the spine, as it is a book, and it has 36 cards, and in the back it gives you some quotes, you know, kind of uplifting the book. And so to get to the cards, you have to go to the back, and I am not a fan of this storage because it's already starting to tear. It's not the most solid. On my other one, the middle part, I had to re-glue it. I've had to re-glue this part, but that is one of the things I do not like about this, the way that this is packaged. But you can always get a bag or something. You know, I know a lot of you guys do store your decks in bags, so that might not be a hindrance for you. And in the back, they will come like this. They'll come like in pages, and these will all be connected like a page. And as you can see, these little dots right here, this is where they come apart. So you'll have to pull the cards apart to get to them. And let's see if I have these. Yeah, I got to turn these around. But okay, so reversals will be revealed, and as you can see, they are smaller than tarot cards, kind of giving you a visual of how big they are. And measurements are 3.5 height, across is 2.25, and the width is 1/4 of an inch. And the other decks that are available are the Illustrated Herbarary. That is the hardcover with the cards, just like this one. There's also just the oracle cards. I have done videos on these if you want to check them out. And there is an Illustrated Herbarary collectible box set. And then there is this one, and there are also oracle cards for this one. But this one is the only one out of the illustrated ones that doesn't come with a collectible box set. I checked, but for some reason she decided not to do a box set with this one. Her illustrated bestiary, it comes with a hardcover box with the cards, just like this, or you can get the collectible box set, and it has oracle cards. The collectible box set, you get the hardcover book, you get the bigger oracle cards, and then you get a bag and a nice little big box where everything neatly goes in. And then there is the Wild Wisdom Companion, the Wild Wisdom Collection, Daily Magic, and the Night School. All right, so let's go ahead and look at these beautiful cards. I'm not a fan of the cardstock. It's very thin. It's just, I like a little thickness, not too much to where they're not a little bit flexible, but it is what it is. All right, so I do like these because they give you the page number at the bottom, and the bigger oracle cards do not. And as you'll see in the guidebook, they're not in alphabetical order. You pretty much have to flip through the book with the oracle cards, but with this one you just look at the page number at the below, so it's nice. All right, so enough of my babbling, and let's go ahead and look at these beautiful cards. And these are basically gems and minerals, and then you have your little saying at the top, and then what it is at the bottom with the page number. And I am a fangirl of Kate's work. And this is a really good deck to start your gem and mineral journey if you are interested in doing, more research and more deep dives into certain ones. This is a really good way to start. You could basically just use the card and put it in a card holder or your altar, and if there is a certain one that you'd like to add on your altar, you can also pick one of these cards to put on your altar besides it. Ooh, that's really pretty. It looks Egyptian. And this is my favorite, and I got this at my favorite shop, and I don't know if you could see the blue in it. It's yeah, I just love the colors that are inside of it, depending on how the light hits it. And I'm not a big crystal person. I'm gonna be honest with you, but you know, there's just some that I'm just drawn to. And sometimes I find out that there's a reason I'm drawn to them. But I honestly, I like them because they're pretty. But I have used them sparingly. But there's no judgment from me if crystals, gems, minerals are your thing. They are. There are some that are so beautiful, and they have lessons to be learned. Oops. And these I did not turn around. Oh, moonstone. I love moonstone. So pretty. Okay, and that is pretty much the deck. And shuffling, these are smaller cards, so if you're not a fan of the smaller cards, then yeah, you can get the bigger oracle cards. Some people like the smaller ones. So shuffling is very easy. The cards are ultra flexible, like I said. So easy on the joints and very easy to shuffle. All right, so let's explore this beautiful book, which has a lot of information. And it's 166 pages. Right. So this has the same setup if you've watched my other two videos on the hardcover books. Yeah, it's the same setup, and has some beautiful illustrations and some sayings, and this is her thank you page. And like I said, this is not alphabetized, so having it the page number on the cards is going to help you a lot. Okay. And then we have a couple of phrases, and I will let you pause that and read that at your leisure. And then we have a preface, however you say it. And Maia, who loves to tell stories, she just talks about a little story for you, some stuff that she did in her past. And then we have our introduction, and we have some more story, and her talking about her what's the word I'm looking for, her association with crystals, gems, and minerals. And then we have stone nourishment. And she just talks about how just basically where some come from. And then she talks about the mows hardness scale. And basically, it's just a scale that was invented by a German mineralogist, Frederick Moles, in 1812 to identify on a scale of 1 to 10 the hardness of the mineral. So diamonds are the hardest, and whatever is the lowest. So that kind of gives you an idea. And then talks about the stone song, and goes into how did they identify the different stones. And then how to use this book. I always look at this as suggestions. And she just tells you how you can use the book. And then we have a free writing. So it's just to kind of do an intuitive meeting with the stone. And you just, sit with a particular stone or the card, and then you set the timer for 10 minutes. And then you ask, what message do you have for me? And then you just, whatever pops into your head, you just write it down. And then we have dreaming, journeying, or meditation. And just basically, before you go on a journey or meditation or sleep, just ask the stone to be with you. And you can use the card or the actual stone. And then pay attention to patterns. Oh, talc. That would be the softest. And basically, depending on the strength of the stone, depending on how long you'll be working with it. Okay, and then we have the stone families that are represented in the book. And this talks about, I guess, the different ones that they belong to, the families. And then we go into the definition of crystal, mineral, or gem. And she gives you a little bit of background on how to tell the difference. Okay, so then we actually go into the meanings. And then we have the picture of the illustration from the deck, and whatever the card meaning phrase is, and then the whatever the card is about, and then it has the Ma's hardness scale, the rating on it, and then we have talks about, and then we have a ritual that you can perform, and then we have a reflection, and this is just asking yourself some questions. She has a couple of questions down there that you can use. And then basically that is what is the rest of the book, and it's the same. And then we'll kind of flip through and head to the back. And then we have how to work with the cards. And this part just talks about when you meet your cards, you open them up. Most people will flip through the whole deck and look at the pictures and look at the meanings that are on the card, if there are, unless it's tarot, and to get familiar with it, you can smudge your deck, and then she talks about exploring who you've been, who you want to be moving forward. That just gives you an example of what to expect. And then we have a 1-card draw. Then we have a 2-card draw. And then we have the 3-card. And this is just one of the 3 cards that you can use as a spread. There's millions of 3-card spreads that you can use. And then we have sources and resources, where she got her information. And we got some thank yous, and here is the other ones. And this is the collectible set. This is what I was talking about. You get the bag, you get the bigger oracle cards, you get the book, and then you get this beautiful box to put them all in. But for some reason, she didn't do it for this series. I have no idea why. And there's Maia. Little blurb on her. Background. Nice little picture. Okay, so let's go ahead and shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And see who wants to come up and give somebody out there a message. Maybe even me. Yeah, it's hard to say. Okay. Make sure I got them up right. Better with Time. Emolite. And that's on page 123. And that's really pretty. Okay, so let's see what Emolite has to tell us. 123, 123. Okay, so the Mal's, I'm hoping I'm saying that right, hardness scale is a 3.5 to 4. A long time ago, when the mountains were oceans, a cephalopod called an ammonite made its home in a spiral shell on the ocean floor. Its shell was much like that of a snail or a conch, lovely in its spiral form, but otherwise unremarkable. Oh my God, I can talk, really. Otherwise unremarkable. When the ocean receded, these cephalopods failed to recede with it. Their remains were fossilized in what became a mountainside. The pressures of time and the soil matrix of the mountain caused their chemistry to shift, becoming opalescent and sparkling. Time changes everything. Emolite knows what in your life needs spaciousness and time, so it can become a jewel. Oh, that's really nice. Okay, a ritual in exploring your cycles. Like the nautilus shape of the ammonite shell, our lives are an ever-expanding spiral. We pass through the same lessons, growing and expanding with each return. These become the core themes of our lives, as well as opportunities for growth. In the midst of a cycle, it can be hard to see your own patterns. In retrospect, we can often come to greater understanding. Begin by making a timeline. Choose to chart your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual growth. Starting at your birth, note significant events relating to your chosen area of injury. When you have a thorough list, go back and look for patterns. Repeat this exercise for various aspects of your life. Compare and overlay these timelines to reveal new patterns. Okay, reflection, transmutation. We tend to think that animals stay animals and minerals stay minerals, but this is the short view. Geological time knows otherwise. Pine trees fossilize and harden into jet. Lava's liquid fire solidifies to glassy obsidian. Your own bones turning crystalline, growing a mineral called apatite. I'm sorry, I'm butchering a lot of things. Medieval alchemists distilled, evaporated, powdered, and heated in an effort to understand how one thing transformed into another. Alchemy was both a physical science and the medieval version of self-help, as alchemists applied their studies metaphorically, seeking the elemental steps to transform a person and help them burn off the dross to become more than they were. Begin consciously noticing transmutation in your everyday life. Watch water become steam, paper become ash. And then, how can you use these transmutations metaphorically and in ritual to support your own growth? Oh, well, that's nice. But growth is painful, as we all know. It's not fun. Okay, so I'm going to do something new. I found a couple of books that I figured that I would start ending my videos with I have this book, A Year and a Day Everyday Witchcraft, 366 Ways to Witchify Your Life. Okay, so November 11th, decorative cinnamon brooms. To have cinnamon's abundant magical energy around all the time, make a simple cinnamon broom. The easiest way to do this, of course, is to buy a pre-made broom, as long as it uses natural material. Use either a small size, like the kind used to sweep hearths, or a full-size one. You will need powdered cinnamon, some plain white glue and a brush, wax paper and a plastic bag, and any other decorative items, including cinnamon sticks, ribbons, season-themed decorations, such as pine cones and red and green ribbons if you are making one for Yule. Lay your broom down on the wax paper and brush the glue over one side of the broom, then sprinkle it with the cinnamon. If you are creating the broom for some magical use, such as protection or healing, focus on that intention as you sprinkle. Place the broom inside the plastic bag to dry overnight and absorb the scent. Repeat on the other side the next day. Once the broom is dry, add any decorations, then bless and consecrate it for magical use. You can also say a simple spell such as cinnamon, cinnamon, sacred and strong. Bless this home all year long. And then she says, try this. For more ideas and directions on making brooms from scratch, check out my book, The Witch's Broom, The Craft, Lore, and Magic of Broomsticks. Okay, so that's pretty nice. Little holiday thing. Okay, and then I wanted to introduce you guys to a goddess. So today's goddess is Biliku, and she represents restraint. Biliku is a goddess from the Andaman Islands, which are in the Bay of Bengal. I hope I said that right. And are part of the territory of India. The indigenous inhabitants of these islands are thought to be among the oldest peoples on Earth. Only 30 individuals remain, and they all live on the one small island. They still follow the old ways and live as hunter-gatherers. Biliku is a powerful creator goddess who was the first being to possess the secret of fire. Later, the kingfisher stole this magic. Biliku can be both kind and fearsome. Sometimes she appears in the form of a giant female spider, very similar to Grandma Spider of the Cherokee people half a world away. Before the world existed, Biliku wore complex webs, and traveled the universe in darkness. After a while, she created the first people from her weavings and decided to live on Earth. Her temper could be terrible and was unpredictable. Thunder was her anger, and fierce winds were her words of rage. Finally, she returned to her home in the sky, but the Andaman Islanders still fear her outbursts. Contemplation. Where do I need to manage my anger in order to respond appropriately? Okay, food for thought. Okay, so that is all I have for you. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the deck. I'm always interested in hearing what you have to say about it. If you own it, contribute. Let me know what you think about it, if you really like it or not. If you don't, I'm interested in hearing the pros and cons. So that gives other people who are thinking about purchasing it a realistic idea. And once again, thank you so much for spending your time with me. And I hope that you will join me in a future video. But until then, take care and goodbye, my dears.